all right. So we gotten away from this, and we'll bring it back, like, some of the, headline stuff. But like, man, we've been so distant from this. There's so many headlines to catch up on, and right now, President Trump just really takes the limelight almost every day on something that's happening, and we knew that was going to happen because we saw his first run as president, right? I'll start with Elon. Good God, man. I thought them two together is greater than them two apart, in my opinion. They're just really just dynamic people. Call them smart, call them whatever, right? Yep. But they're just dynamic, and being together, I just feel makes things a lot better. But that relationship has fizzled out, and it's basically Elon saying, you guys are spending too much money, and actually, you Republicans and Democrats, as much as you hate each other, you're the same frickin' people. Yep, you're the same goddamn people, man. Like, you spend money like it's not yours, which it isn't. It's ours. It's our tax money, right? That they make decisions on, whether we like it or not. So Elon wants to come out and make his own party, and America's Party or something like that. That wants to be more fiscally, financially fiscal responsible, whatever you want to call that. But man, what a ride for this guy, man. He as soon as he joined Trump's side, every Democrat hated him. Yeah. He's going to profit off of this. Well, his stock actually went down, right? And then when he started having his riff with Trump, Republicans hated him. I hate him, but like it's not as high as it used to. Now you just got two parties that don't like it. So maybe it does make sense for him to make his own thing. Because if you like what Elon was saying, maybe that is his calling.
Yep. Yeah, I think Elon is at the core of the problem. Elon, stuck his neck out on the line to support Trump, and then, I think did all the Doge work for free, and then, this bill was the chance to codify a lot of those spending cuts, and there was no spending cuts. So, basically, Trump's plan is to make up the tax revenue in other ways, primarily through tariffs. The market seems to be picking up what he is putting down. They're
making money. Yeah, with the tariffs.
Yeah, they're making a lot.
I don't know what that. I mean, again, inflation takes a long time to ramp up and rear its ugly head. But as of right now, there's not much creep in inflation.
Yeah. What I do know overall that bill, I think moves us in a better direction. Obviously, for the House and the Senate to pass it, they're going to stuff it full of other stuff. But at some point it has to get passed. The base tax
that has to.
Law is important. And at the end of the day, I do believe that an increased competitive America that isn't as constrained as it has been in the past will produce more tax revenue, right? That's really the only way out of this mess, which I thought Elon was on board with, right? He said it a number of times. We have to, the only way out of this is to produce more, essentially, raise the GDP. And that I think that's what they're trying to accomplish with this, and I don't think a lot of that is being factored in.
It's not. We talked about that a few episodes ago, where they had the same exercise back in 2016 and say, "Oh my God, you're spending so much and cutting taxes, you're gonna cut into our revenue." Mm-hmm. Yeah, lower taxes actually generate more growth.
Yeah, and we've seen it in recent history. So I don't know why people argue it so much.
For some reason, they're just not taking it into consideration. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. And then your boy Powell as well.
Yeah.
He's
the Fed chair. Yeah, publicly come out and said, "You fired."
It's Trump's when he goes after people, it's hard to get behind him on the way he does it and things like that.
Right.
But this happens to be one I 100% agree with Trump on everything that he's saying. There was that handwritten note that was making the rounds a couple days ago that he sent to Jerome. But I mean, what the facts are the facts. I mean, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is basically a list of countries and their prevailing interest rates, and the United States was at the bottom with the highest at 4.5%. Interest rates should be lower. They should be lowered already. Why I don't understand why they're not, quite honestly.
I saw a statistic, so I believe there's like 8 positions in the Fed, like 8 different chairs or whatever, right? Whatever you want to call them. And 14 out of the 18, or it was like 12 or 14 out of the 18, believe that we're headed towards a stagflation type of environment, where that is slower growth, so lower GDP, higher unemployment. We're starting to see unemployment tick up. Again, it's not so much that it's an overly concern, but it's rising, and increasing inflation. We have yet to see that. So, like, all of these things are still not there. You can see signs of them, but that's normal to have things kind of ebb and flow through highs and lows. But 14 out of the 18 are predicting it, and that's a little scary. And that's why they haven't done it yet. They'd rather see the economy break, so they have quote unquote bullets to shoot to resurrect the economy. If again, there wasn't much wiggle room when you're at 0 interest rates and something happens, there's nothing to do except what they did do was print money. And that's not good. Right? I'd rather have some bullets in the chamber where we can lower interest rates by 1% overnight and watch, a lot of that, economic activity happen. If we're at 0, right? And I don't know, like, we can argue where interest rates could or should be. Donald Trump wants them to be at 1. We're at 4.5. Could we argue that 3 or 3.5 would be a good number? Sure. But again, Powell's doing this because he's not seeing too many chinks in the armor.
Yep. Right.
There's no cracks, but Donald wants ultimate, immediate growth, and that's just him. He's a type A dude, right? So, geopolitical, man, he's involved with Iran, Israel, Ukraine, Russia, China, and hey, what happened to Rocket Man over in North Korea? Don't hear about that guy anymore. But I'm sure he's still around. So I guess it's whatever whatever TV wants to talk about at that time. But man, he's just involved, or he's so involved.
Yep.
And he's very vocal, throwing F-bombs. Like, they don't know what the F they're doing. That's so good. And then, man, and again, it's just such a circus. I'm on my hardcore right side. No, I'd like to say I'm moderate. I can see both. I like to try and see both sides. But man, dude, like, I see President Trump on TV yesterday, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? He's on Fox. He's at the soft opening of the alligator Alcatraz is what I'll call it. And in the same picture that he's at this new, immigration prison, the headline is Big Beautiful Bill, and he's wearing a Gulf of America hat. And I'm just like, God, man, like, can we tone
really
it down?
Going for it.
Can we just can we tone it down just a little bit?
Well, it was a couple days ago where, what was he saying? Or no, it was at that event, wasn't it? Where he said basically, like, these people try to put me in a place like this.
Yeah, it's just like Biden tried to put me in here. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, call him a son of a bitch.
Oh God, yeah. All of these quote unquote shenanigans, man, and the market's at all time highs.
Yep.
It's just that's just a testament about how much money is in the system from what I believe the helicopter money that was dropped during COVID. Like it really did juice the economy for now over 5 years.
Yep.
And that's my opinion, right? I mean, so but the market continues to roll up. We're expecting another good earnings season because they lowered the bar. In the beginning of the year, earnings growth was at 12, then it was lowered to 8, and now it's somewhere around 4 to 6%.
Yep.
The bar just continues to lower, and it's, you know, like I still feel like we're still spending the same amount of money. Like everything's still happening, right? So 2025 should be a good market, a good year in the market again. So
the opinions expressed in the podcast are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any investment, legal, financial, or tax strategy. It is only intended to provide education about the financial industry. Please consult a qualified professional about your individual needs.